Welcome to Rock Solid Productions, where it is time to switch it up and take a look at the latest releases hitting the Nintendo eShop for the Nintendo Switch for June 11th to June 17th, 2018. Hello everybody and welcome to Rock Solid Productions. My name is Gary, your host here on the channel, and I do want to take a moment and thank everybody. We just recently surpassed our 1 year that we've really put an effort into the channel. Over 3,200 subscribers, countless likes and comments and questions. I want to take a moment here and just sincerely from the bottom of my heart thank each and every one of you who has spent a second looking at our content. Thank you very much. Now, if this is your first time here and you do want to stay up to date on everything that we have coming out on the channel, make sure that you hit that subscribe button. That way each and every time that I do upload something fresh and unique, you get to check it out first, especially if you hit that notification bell. You'll get an alert on your phone, in your email, wherever you have your notifications set to go, to let you know that we do have new content available. Now, this week is E3 2018 and there's a lot of news coming out, but as such, there's also not a whole lot coming out in the eShop. This is actually the lightest week for releases that we've had since we started to do Switch It Up. There's only 9 new releases, but there are a couple that are really going to be outstanding. So the first one here we're going to dive into, this is Jolt, the family robot racer. It is $4.99 and it will be available on June the 11th. Jolt is a fast-paced racing party game. The game at its core is a competitive platformer that's all about maintaining momentum with skillful navigation. You're going to compete to be the last robot standing using a charged burst of speed called the Jolt and an array of different objects in the environment. Your goal is to outperform or outright sabotage your other racers. Eliminated racers are down but not out, though, through the use of Void, a random sabotage power-up that allows players to initiate revenge and change the outcome of the race. You get multiple track skill and timing based on gameplay, multiple game modes. You can create your own robots too, and this kind of reminds me in a lot of ways of Mario Kart as far as the way you can attack your fellow racers with the blue shell. Same type of thing on here. So that is Jolt, really unique looking action platformer kind of racing game. Now for me, the heavy hitter of the week is this one here, and this is Paladins. There's over 25 million players playing Paladins right now, and this is a free-to-play fantasy team-based shooter. You can wield guns and magic as a legendary champion of the realm, customizing your core set of abilities to play exactly how you want to play. The deck building system, you can become an iron sight sniper, a grenade slinging explosives expert, or a track star with an assault rifle, all as the same champion. Choose from the dozens of different cards to customize your abilities to make each champion your own. And you can really customize your character to the nth degree on here. It is 2 to 10 player online is what it's indicating, but I've seen larger multiplayer than that, so we'll see if that gets updated at some point. If you want to get into it sooner rather than later, that $29.99 unlocks everything for you right out of the gate. However, if you want to just play the game and unlock it, you can do that too. So basically you're paying the money up front to have early access to the game, but you also don't have to grind to get access to weapons, characters, maps, things along those lines. So Paladins Founders Pack, I watched the guys over at Superhero Game Squad play it, and it looks like a lot of fun. I know I want to play it just so that I can take down Rift, because that boy needs to be brought down a level. You hear me, Aaron? That's right, taking you down. Next up this week is Alchemic Jousts, and this is a 2D action strategy game that has kind of a card building type of aspect to it as well. It's $8.99, and this one you actually get 45 Nintendo eShop coins in here too. This is kind of an action strategy game with, like I mentioned, that card game deck creation kind of aspect to it. In the single player campaign, you'll be able to discover new skills and abilities by combining your already known ones and expanding your repertoire of weapons to draw from. There's single and multiplayer gameplay. You can play versus the AI in advanced throughout the game's campaign, and each time that you advance, you'll discover new skills and new game modes, or you can even challenge a friend. You get strategic combat too, where your actions and skill of execution matter as much as your choices before the match even starts. There's over 180 skills and upgrades to discover, which you can combine with your known skills to discover even new ones and expand your arsenals. You get multiple game modes with different objectives that will make you change the way you play as much as the skills you choose. The different game modes include combat, endless, king of the hill, attack, capture, and a whole lot more. There's even random global effects which will change general rules of each match in very subtle or very radical sort of ways. The varying rules will keep the gameplay fresh and require you to consider the skills you use to approach them. You can play 1 to 2 players locally or 1 to 2 player online multiplayer. And again, for $8.99, you get 45 Nintendo eShop coins here. Now, also coming out on the 12th is Tennis World Tour, and this is the first of our sports games that we have for this week, and we have quite a few. The thing that I absolutely love about the Tennis World Tour is the fact that it really shows that you can get good graphics out of the Nintendo Switch. That's one of the things that it always kind of gets poo-pooed on, that, well, it's an underpowered system, it's not very powerful, but the Switch actually works quite well in this. You can play as one of 30 different tennis players throughout the game as you fight to become the #1 ranked player in the world. There's also 18 different types of courts, from hard, clay, grass, carpet, and even hardwood. There's a complete career mode, and then you also have the unequal tactical dimension, so you can decide what strategy to adopt for each match and use your skill cards to defeat your opponents. 1 to 2 player locally, no online component, which is a little bit, well, it's a little disappointing, I'm not gonna lie. The motion and animation, the characters all look great for the Switch or for any system, quite honestly. The shadows look great, the crowd is well animated too, and it looks like you will have some real world competitors that you can play with or against on here, and that is Tennis World Tour, again $59.99. Next up is Hex Logic, and Hex Logic is $2.99 and is available on the 12th and is designed for those out there who love Sudoku. It's actually very heavily influenced by Sudoku. And in Hex Logic, you're going to immerse yourself in a beautiful world. Based on hex-shaped grids, the game reinvents Sudoku rules and brings it to a different level, combining the dots inside the hexes with 3 possible directions so that there's some matches the one given at the edge. You'll get a rewarding experience for both puzzle games veterans and for newcomers. And at $2.99, it's kind of hard to say not to try it. I mean, this is one of those, if you are a puzzle fan or a Sudoku fan, for $3, do it. Our next release this week is another one of the sports games, and this is the Neo Geo Super Sidekicks 3. And this one is $7.99, and you can compete with up to 64 teams from around the world in this 1 to 2 player arcade-style soccer game. Much like other releases designed and released from the Neo Geo era, the graphics are extremely accurate to what was available at the time. There's a lot of different things you can do with this game as well. You can change the difficulty, change your teams, of course, and the different ways that you can play as well. $7.99, 1 to 2 player local multiplayer for the Sidekicks 3, The Next Glory. Soccer Slammers, another sports game this week, and another soccer game. This one comes out on the 14th, as does Super Sidekicks 3, that also comes out on the 14th. Soccer Slammers kind of reminds me of Crossy Road meets like Minecraft as far as the animation style goes. And this is a 2-on-2 arcade soccer game for 1 to 4 players. In some ways, it kind of reminds me of like NBA Jam with the over-the-top type of animation that you have. There's 40 different teams to choose from. The over-exaggeration of the goalie, like when you make a goal on the opposing team, how he spins around in the goal. It's all very cute. This is designed around the World Cup, of course, and you do have a number of different countries to choose from. Even if you are not a soccer fan, I would consider giving this one a look. If you like playing air hockey, like I do, my daughter and I love playing air hockey. Just the way that you can bounce the ball against the different sides of the arena and whatnot. It works. It looks like it works really well. You can warm up with a 2-minute quick game or go for the glory by trying to compete against 32 top teams in the world for the World Cup. $9.99, and Soccer Slammers comes out on the 14th of June. Beeker Reloaded is kind of interesting because when you hear Reloaded, you think, oh, it's a sequel or it's a redo. This really is an exciting shmup that's inspired by previous shmups, but I'm not seeing anything where this actually had a game that came out before it. You'll play as Beeker, a brave beat, along with 5 different worlds that you have to conquer, filled with dangerous insects and many hazards that will put your skills to the limit. There's multiple different difficulty settings for both experienced players and beginners to the genre. This is what I think is neat, is you get both a horizontal and vertical stages, each with their own type of gameplay, 5 different worlds with many different secret stages to be discovered along the way, new unlockable characters, and each one has their own characteristics to them. Now, $9.99, I kind of wish it were a little bit less expensive just because it doesn't seem like the depth is there, but this definitely has potential and is a unique entry into the shoot 'em up genre. Graphically reminds me of something either like the 32X or Sega CD, that type of, yes, I'm complimenting Sega there, by the way, something of those. Our last release that we have this week is Disney-Pixar's Lego The Incredibles. And first of all, I'm excited for the movie. I'm now excited to know that there's a game coming out for it because the Lego movie games are always great. This is $59.99, and you do get 300 Nintendo eShop coins. Basically, this takes place across both movies, 1 and 2. So if you haven't seen the second movie yet, I would hold off on playing the part 2 until you have. This obviously has the same type of Lego style animation that we've come to know and love over the years from the Lego Star Wars movie games, the Lego Indiana Jones games, the different Lego games that they have had. You have Mr. Incredible, Jack, Elastigirl, Frozone, the 2 other kids as well in here. It looks like you may start off early in the game fighting against the Underminer, which is super cool. The Incredibles allows players to explore multi-action packed story levels and an epic hub world, including Municiberg, as they use their unique super abilities to bring the city's supervillains to justice. Gamers can also team up with family and friends in 2-player co-op modes to assemble incredible Lego builds. I love The Incredibles. I'm cautiously optimistic on this movie just because looking at the previews, it's, hey, Mr. Incredible is a terrible dad. I just hope they're not going to bang that drum really hard. But these are our releases this week for the Nintendo Switch eShop. Like I say, kind of light about half of what we've had the last couple of weeks. But coming in the upcoming weeks, like next week, we'll have The Lost Child. This is Ink, Grab the Bottle, Mucinix. That's a decongestant, I thought. Minecraft, there's another version coming out. Lost in Harmony, Vegas Party, Drawful 2, Nintendo's own Mario Tennis Aces will be coming out. Bomb Chicken, Luminous Remastered, MotoGP 18. Oh yeah, I'm just gonna have to break down and order this. Speaking of which, if there are games that you see on here that there are physical releases for, make sure you check out our Amazon store that we have. I'll have the information down below. If you go ahead, if you're an Amazon Prime member and you use those links, not only can you get a discounted price when you pre-order those games, you actually help support the channel too. I get a little bit of coin in the old coin purse, as it were, if you do use our affiliate links. So, like, I will have links to Crash Bandicoot: The Insane Trilogy, which we will be covering here on the channel. MotoGP 18, I'm not sure if that's going to have a physical release at 40 bucks. It actually might, and I know Mario Tennis Aces will have a physical release, along with, I'm sure that, the Tennis World Tours and Lego Incredibles will also have physical releases. We'll have that information down below in the more info section for you. Now, if you do have any questions about anything that I've covered here today in Switch It Up or anything about the Nintendo Switch or retro or modern gaming whatsoever, feel free to email me at rocksolidmail@gmail.com. Also, go ahead and leave a comment below. We do answer and respond to each and every comment that we get. You can also send me a message over on Twitter at RockSolidStudios, or join us on our Facebook page too at facebook.com/RockSolidProductions. And if you like the merch, if you want to help support the channel too, make sure you head on over to our Teespring store. We've got a variety of different t-shirts, stickers, sweatshirts, a whole lot of different clothing, and it does help support the channel. As does, if you want to help support the channel too, for as little as $1 a month, you can help us over on our Patreon page at patreon.com/rocksolid. It gets you early access to all of our content that we have, plus exclusive content such as, and I know I've talked about it in a recent video, we actually retro-brided our Super Famicom. If you want to know what it looked like beforehand, look at the AV port. Man, this thing was yellow, and now it looks pretty amazing. I detailed that for everyone over on our Patreon page, patreon.com/rocksolid. And then if you do need to get any accessories for your Switch, any retro gear, any reproduction or clone consoles, make sure you head on over to castlemaniagames.com. Visit my friend Ryan, and on most items in the store, if you use promo code ROX10, you'll actually save 10%. So that's very cool. Like you see, we've got the light up Ren and Stimpy behind me. We've got an unboxing coming soon. Oh, Deadpool fell. Deadpool's dead. So, but make sure you check out castlemaniagames.com too. Ryan has been a very early supporter of the channel. And again, thank you to all of you who have been supporting us over the course of the past year as we have surpassed 3,200 subscribers and we continue to grow. I thank you very, very much. I also thank you for watching. Make sure you subscribe to the channel too. That way you are kept up to date with everything that we do have coming out. Hit that bell notification. That way you are alerted, because YouTube sucks lately when it comes to notifying people, hey, there's new content out for you to check out. So hit that bell notification. That way you are kept up to date. I am Gary. This is Rock Solid Productions, and this has been this week's new releases for the Nintendo eShop. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon.